Hi, welcome back. It's John Etheridge, Cycling Artist again. In my last video I showed you how I was doing this Lloyd Loom chair, and I was putting on this seat cover made from my bespoke fabrics, printed by Finfab. Now I'm using Sarah Jayne chalk paints to paint this chair, and I showed you how quickly and easily it went on to the legs. Now this was the chestnut colour, and I did two very thin layers and then done another fairly thin layer. So a maximum amount of layers on there was 3, and it's completely covered and it's nice and smooth. It's all ready for varnishing or waxing or whatever way you want to do it. Now what I thought I would do is to just show you how easy it is with the Sarah Jayne chalk paints to paint various different types of things. Now with this being a wicker construction, obviously there's lots of nooks and crannies and areas to fill. So short of having a spray gun or something like that, I'm going to have to put it on with a brush, and I'm going to use one of the Sarah Jayne chalk paint round brushes, because these are ideal for getting into these nooks and crannies. And I'm going to show you basically just how quick, how easy it is to cover this. Now once again, it'll probably take about 3 layers, just thin layers to start with, but you'll see it'll be a good coverage. Another thin layer, and then go back on with which will be a thicker layer, and that's purely because of the water that I add to the tin. If I can explain, for the first 2 layers I'll add a tablespoon of water to the chalk paint tin, to the Sarah Jayne chalk paint, and it doesn't matter what amount of chalk paint you've got in the tin. Just add a tablespoon to that, and it just makes it a bit more fluid and easier to work. And then the last layer, the third coat, I'll just go straight on, and then I'll be ready for the waxing. So what I'll do now is I'll get on with this. I'll just show you exactly what I'm doing. There's been no preparation other than me just wiping it down with a damp cloth just to get rid of any dust that might have been on there. So here we go. Right, now I've got a Wedgwood colour paint today, Sarah Jayne chalk paint, and I'm now going to add, I've got about 3/4 of a tin here. I'm going to add a tablespoon of water, because you don't have to do this. I mean, Sarah Jayne chalk paints go on very, very well anyway, but this is just a little tip to help and speed things up a little bit, if you know, not that they aren't very quick anyway. So I'm going to give that a stir, mix all the water in. I haven't had this tin open for quite a while, so I'm going to give it a good mix. Make sure it's all as it should be. I think that would be enough, and I'm going to use the smaller 1-inch brush for the moment, just because I like it to control it a bit better. For a much larger area, the 2-inch brush is ideal, and it would be ideal for this. It's just that I'm going to come down to some areas here where it's going to be fairly close, so I'm going to have to tape it all off, so I think the 1-inch brush would probably be quite good for that. So here we go. We've got our watered down, slightly watered down paint. I'm going to start over here so that hopefully you can see exactly how that's going on. Look at that. Perfect. And that's going to take no time at all to cover this, especially if I was using a bigger brush. You can go up and down. Look at that. It's a lovely colour as well. It's going to fit lovely with what I'm doing. Look at that. It is as simple as this. You'll find that some of the colours in the Sarah Jayne chalk paint are slightly thicker than others. This is quite a fluid one anyway, this Wedgwood blue. So it's going on there, probably a little less thicker than even the chestnut did. I think that's probably just the nature of the colour of the paint, but all of them are very, very good, very fluid, very pliable to put on, and yeah, they're perfect in every way. And the Sarah Jayne chalk paints, they don't need any preparation whatsoever, and they also can be just buffed up if you wanted to do that, and that releases I believe a wax within the paint, so you really only need the paint, but of course there are the options to buy the Sarah Jayne waxes and the Sarah Jayne varnishes and use them. On this particular item I shall be using a Sarah Jayne varnish probably, because it's quite a sturdy chair. The other chair that I did was a bit flexible, so I used a wax on that, and yeah, you can see how well that's covering. What I'll do right now actually is I will get the bigger brush, because this is a bit slower than it needs to be. I'm going to get the bigger brush just to show you how quickly this can go on. There we go. You don't need a lot of paint on the brush. I mean, literally I've just covered the tip. So there we go. Look at that. Straight on. Yes, there is colour showing through from the yellow still, but like I said, that's because we need probably about 3 coats. And these are literally just thin coats. I mean, you can see the amount of paint I'm putting on, and I'm spreading it over a good area. And one of these Sarah Jayne chalk paint tins will do, I'm guessing based on experience, I'd probably get at least 5, possibly 6 chairs out of this. I mean, I've done some dining chairs, I've done a table, I've done a stool, I've done a chair with this, another chair, and like I said, I've still got 3/4 of a tin left. I mean, that is incredible. This is incredible stuff, this chalk paint. And Sarah Jayne chalk paints, like I say, you don't need to do much to these at all if you don't want to, but the options are there for different effects and different things to do. I mean, look how quickly that's going on, and with this round brush it's really nice and easy to just smooth that out. I mean, this has got a curve back to it, so the curve of the brush fits really well. Alright, so there we are. I shall carry on doing this, and potentially when I get to that point of having put the 3rd layer on, I'll just come back with another video and show you the whole thing completely put together. Look at that. It's just, the coverage is fantastic. I mean, I cannot tell you how impressed I am with Sarah Jayne chalk paint. Look at that. This is going to be absolutely fantastic when I've finished. And the brush is fantastic too. I mean, with a rectangular brush, this would be quite a bit harder, but this is really getting in there. It's got a nice curved top to it. It's really pushing into there where there's other parts. And this is, I'd say, probably quite a complicated piece of furniture because of all the interwoven weave. Not as simple as doing an ordinary chair, or in fact doing a tabletop or anything like that. But there we go. I'm not getting any blockage of the weave, and if I do, I just go back in with this brush and that smooths it out. Anyway, thank you for watching that. I'm going to carry on here for the rest of the afternoon probably. I would say the chances are after 20 minutes I'll be putting another coat on, and probably another half an hour after that I'll be putting the last coat on, so potentially I'm going to finish this afternoon. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Thank you. Bye.